Hello everyone. So let's continue with the part 2 of antiplatelet drugs. Myself, Rashmi Arora, welcomes you again to the YouTube channel of Chameli Devi Institute of Pharmacy. So the next category in antiplatelet agents is new ADP pathway inhibitors. The drugs are prasugrel and ticagrelor. Prasugrel is irreversible, however ticagrelor is reversible inhibitor, and both these drugs do not need hepatic activation for their action, and they both share the rapid onset of action as compared to the clopidogrel. These are basically used to reduce the rate of thrombotic cardiovascular events and adverse effects as with other category of drugs similar, that is bleeding, and ticagrelor causes dyspnea as well. So the adverse effects till now is common in all the agents under all the categories, that is increase in the bleeding tendency. Next category is glycoprotein 2B3A receptor inhibitors. Agents are apixaban, tirofiban, aptifibitide. It is also known as integrelin. Some other drugs which are under trials are xamilofiban, orgofiban, and lefedrifiban. Here we are discussing some of the drugs. These glycoprotein inhibitors, they are basically monoclonal antibodies, and they are required for the platelet aggregation with each other and with the fibrinogen and Wald-Wilben factor. First is apixaban. It inhibits the platelet aggregation by preventing the binding of fibrinogen, Wald-Wilben factor, and other adhesive molecules which serves as agonist for the platelet aggregation to GP2B3A receptors for the further activation and aggregation step. Apixaban is given intravenous infusion and is used with heparin and aspirin as adjunct to PCI for the prevention of cardiac ischemic complications, because it also causes bleeding and thrombocytopenia. Next is tirofiban and integrelin. Tirofiban is non-peptide drug and integrelin is peptide in nature. It is glycoprotein receptor inhibitor, cyclic peptide in nature, and they act by occupying the site on GP2B3A receptors that is required to bind the platelet to fibrinogen. So it acts as fibrinogen-like mimetic agent. So this point is very important for integrelin. They are given intravenously for the reduction of incidence in thrombotic complications during coronary angioplasty. And tirofiban is given IV and efficacious in unstable and prinzmental angina as well, and also it can be used in myocardial infarction without Q wave. Next category is phosphodiesterase inhibitors. The drug is dipyramidol. It is a potent vasodilator, and the mechanism of action is that it inhibits the phosphodiesterase and thus increases the cyclic AMP level and causing the decreased synthesis of thromboxane A2. Thromboxane A2 is platelet aggregating factor, so the synthesis of this agent, this agonist, get decreased down, so it won't be available at the receptor site that much, so the aggregation step gets blocked up. So this is how the phosphodiesterase inhibitor works. This drug is basically used in the adjuvant therapy and given orally. It is used for the prophylaxis of thromboembolism in cardiac valve replacement with warfarin. Thromboembolism is basically the term related with the movement of plaque or the emboli from one place to another. Thrombus, when formed with the pressure of blood, sometimes it dislodged from its original location and moved to the other location, and then from at that particular location it starts attracting other platelet to form a stable clot. So when the clot moves from one place to another, that is called thromboembolism. So it is also used in prevention of secondary stroke and transient ischemic attack. It is, both these terms are related with the brain stroke along with the aspirin. Major adverse effects are headache and postural hypotension. As soon as the patient starts having dipyramidol, he or she can experience postural hypotension. Postural hypotension is basically the decreased in blood pressure due to sudden change of posture. When the person lies down on the bed and suddenly he or she gets up, the peripheral pooling of blood takes place in the lower limbs, and it takes few seconds to the body or to the vessels to get the blood in proper circulation. For that particular time, suddenly the BP falls. This is because of the sudden change in the posture. That is why the term postural hypotension named. This postural hypotension is also a major side effect of alpha blockers, which we can see with any alpha blocker, prazosin, etc. on cardiovascular pathology treatment. So this chart depicts the various points where our drugs can act to prevent the platelet aggregation. We'll start, this is basically a kind of summary. So when the plaque disruption takes place, collagen and Von-Willebrand factor on the vessel surface, they start progressing towards the platelet adhesion, secretion and aggregation process under the influence of cyclooxygenase and ADP. Here cyclooxygenase, when comes into picture, it results in the formation or synthesis of thromboxane A2, which is a potent platelet aggregating factor, and this step is blocked by the use of aspirin. So it blocks the cyclooxygenase pathway. And on the other hand, ADP is also required for the platelet recruitment and activation at the site of injury. So this step is also blocked here. The ADP inhibitors ticlopidine and clopidogrel are used successfully. And then after the recruitment and activation, the exposure of glycoprotein 2B3A takes place because of the conformational changes in the platelet. So when this factor gets exposed out, this helps in further aggregation and final step of platelet to form a loose to hard platelet. So this glycoprotein 2B3A activation gets blocked up by the use of monoclonal antibody, abciximab or tirofiban like drugs. In the summary, what we have discussed are the four categories of antiplatelet agents: inhibition of thromboxane A2 synthesis via inhibiting the cyclooxygenase 1 with aspirin. Route of administration is oral. ADP receptor antagonist, clopidogrel and ticlopidine, orally given. Glycoprotein 2B3A receptor antagonist, abciximab, tirofiban and aptifebatide, route of administration intravenous. And phosphodiesterase inhibitor, basically they are potent vasodilators. The drug is dipyramidol, given orally. So all these drugs are used as antiplatelet agents. Just to revise the uses of antiplatelet drugs, they are used in coronary artery disease, that is in unstable angina and primary and secondary prevention of myocardial infarction. They are used in other cerebrovascular diseases like stroke, and they are also used in the coronary bypass implant, that is aspirin or ticlopidine. Basically aspirin is started just after the operation, is considered to be the best choice. They are also used in venous thromboembolism and peripheral vascular disease, in which aspirin and ticlopidine, they may produce some improvement in intermittent claudication and reduces the risk of side effects. The major side effect comes up with this is thromboembolism. So these are the basic uses of antiplatelet drugs. That's all from the antiplatelet agents category. Thank you.